From historic Trum Field in Somerville, Mass., this is Blue Sox Baseball on LSP. Today it's Game 1 of the 2019 season, the 25th season of Blue Sox Baseball, and the 8th here on LSP, as the Blue Sox begin their quest for a 5th consecutive Intercity League Championship and 15th overall, visiting the Alibrandis. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Blue Sox nearly got eliminated from the Intercity League semifinals last year against these Alibrandis, falling behind 2-1 before some lights-out pitching performances, including Manny Del Carmen coming away with 2 big saves on back-to-back nights to preserve the Blue Sox postseason run last year, and eventually leading to the sweep of the Watertown Reds of the Championship Series. The Watertown Reds sadly folded before this season, and we want to thank Joe Chiodo for his 20 years of service to the Intercity League. Too bad we don't have the Reds, but we still have the Blue Sox, we still have the Alibrandis, and we still have baseball here in 2019 as the Blue Sox begin, again, season 25 under manager and owner Rick DeAngelis. And season 8 of Blue Sox Baseball again here on LSP. We are unfortunately not live today because of some issues with YouTube, but Aaron Barboza back in the batter's box, ready to begin the 2019 season, and he takes strike 1 to begin the ball game. Barboza, former Seattle Mariners farmhand, takes ball 1 to even the count. Opposed by Ryan Corriveau as Barboza grounds this one to first base. It'll be fielded there and flipped onto Corriveau by the first baseman Brandon Grover for the first out of 2019. So the speedster Barboza is retired to begin 2019, and that'll bring up Ross Curley, the shortstop. Ross, can you believe it, is in his 12th year in a Blue Sox uniform. Strike 1 to Ross. Almost always takes the first pitch. Ross grounds this one down the third baseline, but it is foul for strike 2, and Ross go behind 0-2. Ross last year batted a stout .308 with a .400 on-base percentage with a career-high 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. His career, he's a .337 hitter with 119 RBIs, 285 hits. And Ross just barely fouls that one off to stay alive. Ross still behind 0-2 with the returning Kyle 80 to bat next. Kyle last played for the Blue Sox in 2015 in his only season, had a fantastic season that was sadly outclassed by one of his own teammates, Mike Hart, as that is high for ball 1. And Ross still behind, but a little closer here at 1-2. Matt Karras manning the first base coach's box, as you can see right there. As Ross grounds this one to the right side, it'll be fielded by the second baseman Miller on to first. And Ross is retired 2 up, 2 down to begin the top of the first, and here is the aforementioned Kyle 80 returning to the Lexington Blue Sox. 80 had a great season in 2015, his lone season with the club. He's a real 5-tool player, as that is outside for ball 1. It's low for ball 2. 80 ahead in the count. Media head 3-0. With Richie Burgos to follow. That's in there for strike one to even the count, not even the count, but get Corvo back into the count at 3-1. Ball 4 to Kyle. And he becomes the game's first base runner. He's got good wheels. He stole 6 of 7 base attempts, 6 of 7 stolen base attempts in 2015. Here is the power hitting third baseman, Richie Burgos. Burgos also a coach at Clark University. And Burgos behind 0-1. Burgos chops this one up the middle, and it scoots through into center field for a base hit. 80's on his way to third. Oh, that would have been an easy inning ending out for Miller, but instead, it's runners on the corners. 2 out. And Zach Stevens will bat, and he fouls it off for strike one. Stevens, Lexington High product, playing baseball at Naval Academy, and also a product of the Lexington Blue Sox baseball camp. See what he's got here. Comes up empty, 0-2. Corvo, can he erase the E4? This is chopped up the middle. It is fielded there by the shortstop, Mark Odessa, who flips on to Miller for the out that retires the side. Nothing comes of the 2-out error. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 left. After half an inning, it is the Blue Sox nothing and the Alibrandis coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So we didn't give you the starting lineups for both teams yet, so here they are. Aaron Barboza leading it off in center field, followed by Ross Curley at short, Kyle Adey in right, Richie Burgos at third, Zach Stevens at first, Alex Wojcik is the DH, John Putras is behind the plate, Josue Feliciano's in left, and John Barry rounds out the lineup at second. And on the mound, young man we saw earlier this year playing for Winchendon, Nate Esplin. Saw him last year in the Intercity League Championship Series playing for the Watertown Reds. For the Alibrandis, their lineup looks like this. Juan Parra leading it off in right field, followed by Teddy Zuba behind the plate. Max Troiani is in center. Brandon Grover is at first. Dave Lightbody is the player manager, the DH. Michael McGuire is in left. Jake Miller is at second. Anthony Perry is at third. And the veteran Mark Odessa rounds out the lineup at short. On the mound, as we mentioned, Corvo got through 1 inning with 1 walk allowed. So let's see what Nate Esplin has in store for us in his first start in a Blue Sox uniform. He will face Juan Parra, the right fielder, to lead things off. Parra takes strike 1. That evens the count as that misses. Ball 1. And this is grounded up the middle through past the second baseman, John Barry, for a base hit. And Parra is aboard to begin the bottom of the first for the Alibrandis. And that'll bring up the catcher, Teddy Zuba. Lefty on lefty matchup here. And Parra with good speed. Over at first base, Stevens holding him on. Ball one to Teddy. Teddy takes down and in, 2-0. See if Parra runs here. 2-0, you got to figure Esplin's going to try and get in the zone with a fastball. It'll be a good pitch to hit. 3-0. Low for ball four. It's a 4-pitch walk issued to Zuba. And the first two batters have reached here in the bottom of the first for the Alibrandis. And now Max Troiani, the center fielder, will step up to the plate. Espelin swings. This is fouled all the way over here. Nearly took a chunk out of a car parked down here. 0-1. Troiani in his first season with the Alibrandis. Espelin delivers. 1-1 as that misses high. This is grounded to the left side towards the Blue Sox dugout. Nice bare hand play by one of the Blue Sox players, and it's 1-2. Espelin pitched in one regular season game for the Reds last year. Got the win in 2 innings of work, allowing 1 hit, walking 2 and striking out 1 as that's fouled off. In the postseason, he was 2-0 with a 2.56 ERA. A 5-inning win against Wakefield and a 4-inning win against Andre. And Espelin will spin back towards second and look Parra back. Parra at second, Zuba at first. The pitch is lined into left field. That is down for a base hit. Parra is being waved around third. The throw will be cut off, and the Alibrandis take the lead on the RBI single by Max Troiani. It is 1-0. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first. And that brings up the first baseman, Brandon Grover. As Parra scores the first run of 2019. And here's Brandon Grover, the first baseman. A big cut and a miss by Grover, and it's strike 1. Zuba now at second, Troiani at first. One and one to Grover, a big man wearing a big number, number 65. The player manager and DH, David Lightbody, on deck, and Esplin would love to roll a double play ball. But he is ahead 1-2, although he was ahead 1-2 of Troiani and couldn't put him away. Lightbody's got some pop in that bat on deck. He's going to hit one hard. You like there to only be one runner on base. Esplin comes set. Looks at second and comes home with it. Check swing, and it is a ball. Wow. I thought that was good, but it is 2-2 to Grover. And that hit him. So the base is loaded with nobody out for Dave Lightbody. Lightbody hit 4 home runs last year. All told, he hit 4 home runs and 21 RBIs, which led the team in both categories, and they had a .325 average. Matt Karras going out there to have a word with Esplin and catcher John Puttress. Lightbody had 4 of the 8 home runs that Somerville popped last year. So they used to be the Somerville Alibrandis, but they're now just the Alibrandis. So Zuba at third, Troiani at second, Grover at first for the power-hitting Dave Lightbody, and that's in there for strike one. Possibly put this one out of reach early, as that runs up and in and nearly hits Lightbody. 1-1. And that is a fairly short fence down the left field line for the right-handed hitting Lightbody to maybe make this a 5-0 game. He lines this one into left field, and this will be down for a base hit. There was some confusion from the base runners as to whether the outfielders trapped that one, but apparently it was a trap. In to score Zuba. It is 2-0 Alibrandis. RBI for Lightbody. And that brings up Michael McGuire, the left fielder. McGuire takes ball one. This is grounded right back to Esplin. Now he's going to go home for the force, and he hesitated so much that that's the only out they'll get. Better than nothing, though, as McGuire reaches on the fielder's choice, and Troiani is retired 1-2. Could have had a 1-2-3 double play. I guess Esplin lost track of the base situation, but still bases loaded, 1 out. And a swing and a miss by Jake Miller for strike one. So a fielder's choice allows McGuire to reach. That's fouled off, and Miller's behind 0-2. Miller played for the Watertown Reds last year and hit .321 with 2 homers and 15 RBIs. Got a couple of Watertown Reds now on this Alibrandis roster, including the perennial MVP candidate Will Brennan, although he is also playing for the Braintree White Sox of the Cranberry League. That skips to the backstop, but it's such a short backstop here that it ricochets right back into the lap of John Puttress. So no advance by the runners. 2-2 the count to Miller. If Esplin can roll a double play ball here, it would be a win for the inning. First 6 batters would have reached, and only 2 runs would score, but he's got to get that double play ball first. And he'll get a strikeout anyways as he blows the fastball by him, and there are 2 down as Esplin picks up his first strikeout in a Blue Sox uniform. And now the 8th man to bat in the inning will be Anthony Perry, the third baseman. Perry played in 18 games last year and batted .367 with 6 RBIs, 2 doubles, and 1 triple. Still got Grover at third, Lightbody at second, and McGuire at first. The pitch is lined right to the first baseman, Stevens, for the out. That retires the side. So all things considered, it could have been a lot worse. 2-run score. And after 1 complete, it is the Alibrandis 2 and the Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Two runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 3 left for the Alibrandis. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left for the Blue Sox. As we begin the top of the second, Alex Wojtek to lead things off as the DH. The Wojtek, Putras, and Feliciano due up here in the top of the second. Second inning of work for Corvo. Goes to the slide step with nobody on base, and it's grounded into left field for a base hit. So Wojtek not fooled by the change of pace there by Corvo. And that'll bring up John Putras, the catcher. First hit of the season for the Blue Sox belongs to Mrs. Wojtek's baby boy. Strike 1 to John Putras as he ran up to bunt. He and Feliciano, you know, the cover stars of Bunter Aficionados magazine. See if he tries to lay one down again here. He does not. He fouls it off his shin, and it's 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count. To Putty. He takes in the dirt ball 1. Wojtek not really a threat to run. The pitch. This is grounded to the left side. Booted by the third baseman. They'll try to get the force at first, and they do. Wojtek will advance into scoring position. Putras is retired 5-3. Perry could have easily had a 5-4-3 double play there. but instead a chance for the Blue Sox to get on the board, and Josue Feliciano will be the man of the hour. Sway getting the start in left today. Takes up and in for ball one. I was talking to Sway before the game, and he mentioned that Manny Del Carmen's working full-time at Nesson now. And I was like, does that mean we won't have his services in the bullpen this year? No, we'll see Manny this year, as Sway's just lucky to get a piece of that 1-1. Infield playing back here for Sway. And the pitch is dribbled down in front of the mound. This is going to be a tough play, and Sway beats it out. Sway still got wheels. Beats out the infield single. So first and third, that puts the tying run on base. And it'll bring up John Barry. Just needs to get a ball into the outfield here to hopefully bring home Wojtek. See if Sway tries to run here. In there for strike one to John Barry. Barry getting the start second base today. Just played in 6 games last year, but was 4 for 8 with 2 RBIs. Also drew a walk, he had an on-base percentage of .556. Outside. 2-1 here. And Corvo a little frustrated with himself here with the location of those last 2 pitches. See him shaking out his right arm there. Sway takes his lead off of first. Runners on the corners, 1 down. The pitch is dribbled in front of the mound. They will only get the out at first, and Wojtek comes in to score, and it is 2-1. Sway advances to second. Productive out there for Barry. He picks up the first RBI for the Blue Sox this season. And the lineup turns over for Aaron Barboza. It's a 1-3 ground out. And let's see what Barbs can do from the top of the lineup. Barboza grounded out 3-1 his first time up. This guy you really want to keep your eye on if he gets on base. Two and 0. Three and 0 to Barboza. Ross Curley, not exactly a guy you want to pitch. You want to just pitch around to get to. 3-1. See if Barboza's turn loose here on 3-1. Nope, he takes ball 4. So first and second, 2 out, good speed on the bases, so Gapper could bring home the go-ahead run here for the Blue Sox. As here is Curley, who grounded out to second his first time up. That's second. top of the first was an adventure for the second baseman, Miller. And he lines this one in through the left side of the infield for a base hit. Feliciano's being waved around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. He sidesteps the tag. We have a tie ball game. And on the play, Curley advances to second. So Curley picks up the RBI single. Barboza advances to third. And here is Kyle 80. And 80 takes low for ball one. '80 smokes this one down the left field line, but that'll be foul. 1-1. 80 walked his first time up and then was stranded at third. Go ahead run at third here in the top of the second with 2 out and a 1-1 count to the returning Kyle 80, who gets ahead 2-1. '80 hits this one to the right side, fielded by the second baseman. Miller on to first for the out that retires the side, but the Blue Sox strike for 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and leave 2. After 1.5, we're tied at 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. We go to the bottom of the second. It'll be the 9-1 and 2 hitters due up for the Alibrandis, with Mark Adessa to lead things off, to be followed by Juan Parra and Teddy Zuba. Dessa, an Intercity League veteran, takes strike 1. Comes up empty there. 0-2. Dessa's played for East Boston, Medford Americans, the Melrose Americans, Somerville Alibrandis. As Adessa goes down on a called third strike, he doesn't like the call, but he is out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. Last year for the Alibrandis, batted .259 with 1 homer and 10 RBIs. Struck out 20 times, though, compared to 8 walks. Second strikeout for Espelin, and now here is the leadoff hitter, Juan Parra. And Parra wants to bunt his way on, steps out of the box, and watches ball 1 go by. Parra last year batted .337 with 7 RBIs and 11 stolen bases in 12 attempts. Ball 4, it's a 4-pitch walk issued to Juan Parra. He's on base for the second time. And that'll bring up the catcher, Teddy Zuba. And Zuba hits a towering pop-up over to the left side, but foul and out of play for strike 1. It's high for ball 1 to Teddy. Teddy walked and scored his first time up last inning. Parra flinched. This is grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Parra looked like he was ready to go low and make a run for third, but he holds up at second. So both Parra and Zuba with a walk and a hit at the top of the lineup. First and second, go-ahead run now in scoring position for the Alibrandis. That brings up Max Troiani. Troiani plated Parra with the first run, the first RBI of the ball game last inning. See if he can have a repeat performance here. The pitch taken for strike 1. That's down and away for ball 1 to even the count. This is popped up. Stevens into foul ground. Out of his reach. He made a nice running basket catch over towards us. But instead it's 1-2. One and two the count, 1 out. Parra at second, Zuba at first. And a swing and a miss and an off-speed pitch, and there are 2 down. Strikeout number 3 for Espelin. And that brings up the first baseman, Brandon Grover. Grover was hit by a pitch his first time up. Lefty against lefty matchup. As that is fouled off at the dish for strike 1. Espelin looks at second and comes home with it. At the knees for strike 2. And this is lined up the middle, and it's through the wickets of Barry. Around third and in to score is Parra, and it is 3-2. So an E4, no RBI there. And the Alibrandis claim the lead on what should have been an inning-ending grounder to second. And let's see if Dave Lightbody can make him pay even more. That runs inside for ball one. Barry's going to be kicking himself if team doesn't pick him up. After that, check swing. Lightbody takes inside. It's an unearned run charged to Espelin. That's fouled off, and the count is even at 2. Espelin really looked to be getting back on his groove there. Let's see if he can shake off the error. Full count. So the runners will be off with this pitch, with Michael McGuire on deck. Fouled off. Do it again at 3-2. Lightbody again, 4 of the Alibrandis' 8 home runs last year by his lonesome. This is grounded to the left side, fielded by Burgos. He wins the race to the bag at third for the force that retires the side. 1 unearned run scores in the inning, and after 2 complete, it is the Alibrandis 3 and the Blue Sox 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. And, excuse me, it's, I'm getting my promos confused. I'm sorry, it's been like 9 months. It's LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. That's more like it. All right. So we go to the top of the third. It'll be the middle third of the order due up for the Blue Sox: Richie Burgos, Zach Stevens, and Alex Wojtek. So both teams' second basemen charged with 1 error in this game, although the error that was charged to Miller did not result in a run. The one that was charged to Barry did. And that run is the difference in the game right now. 3-2. Burgos settles into the batter's box. He reached on said error in the first. And Richie takes ball 1. At the knees to even the count at 1-1 to Richie. Richie was a potent force with the bat at both corners of the infield last year for the Blue Sox. Hit 2 home runs and 14 RBIs while hitting .511 in 45 at-bats. He comes up empty at that one. Well, he just barely fouled it off, actually. And the count evens at 2. And Zach Stevens to follow. Sal Marabella assuming coaching duties in the first base coach's box. And the 2-2 with the slide step. Full count. Well, he's a college hitting coach. He's got to have a good idea of the strike zone. The 3-2, here it is. And he just fouls that one off. Neither team making these innings easy for the opposite pitcher. Blue Sox had 7 men to the plate in the second. The Alibrandis sent 8 men to the plate in the first. And Burgos really fighting here at 3-2. He will see an 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And that runs inside for ball 4. So Burgos works his magic and works a walk. Leadoff man aboard for the second straight inning for the Blue Sox. And that brings up the first baseman, Zach Stevens. Stevens grounded into a fielder's choice to end the top of the first, and he takes ball 1. Strike 1 to even the count to the youngster. Be playing just the first month here for the Blue Sox, then only return to Annapolis. He comes up empty at that one, and it is 1-2. Burgos not really a threat to run at first, but see what happens here on 1-2. Grounded to the left side, fielded by the third baseman onto second for 1. Return throw to first in time for a 5-4-3 double play. So let's see if Alex Wojtek can prolong the inning. Singleton scored his first time up in the second. As that is up and in for ball 1. Wojtek lines this one up the middle for his second hit of the ball game. He's going to take a wide turn at first and hold there. So Wojtek is 2 for 2, and that brings up John Putras, who grounded out to third. his first time up in the second, although it was a productive out, as it got Wojtek into scoring position. As that's low for ball one, Wojtek stumbles back to the first base bag. A little nubber in front of the plate. It'll be fielded by Corvo. He'll fire on the first in time, and the side is retired. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left. After 2.5, still Alibrandis 3, Blue Sox 2. This is Blue Sox Baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of most past LSP video broadcasts, or one of several different designs of stickers or shirts, including the LSP hoodie and the Never Concede Collection. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store after the game to place your order. We go to the bottom of the third. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for the Alibrandis: McGuire, Miller, and Perry. Michael McGuire reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Having some issues with the camera, so 1 second. Yep, it's doing this again. We'll go audio only for a second while we try and fix that. And that is strike one to Michael McGuire. All right, we're back. Two and two the count to McGuire. And he pops this one up. It'll be Curley making the catch for out number one. So for the second straight inning, Esplin gets the leadoff man, and now let's see what he can do with Jake Miller, the second baseman. Miller struck out swinging his first time up in the first. And Miller laces this one into left field. Back goes Feliciano. It is gone! The right-handed hitting Miller took advantage of that short distance left field wall. He did not miss it. First home run of 2019. And it is 4-2. So that'll bring up Anthony Perry, the third baseman, as it looks like there's now action warming in the Blue Sox bullpen as Perry tries to bunt his way on and fouls it off for strike one. Perry nearly got hit while trying to lay that bunt down. The Alibrandis back up by 2. Led 2-0 before the Blue Sox tied it in the top of the second, as that's fouled off for strike 2. Fouled off again. Both teams with a base runner in every inning. Difference is Alibrandis have a run in every inning. Blue Sox just have the 2 runs they scored in the top of the second to tie the ball game. A swing and a miss. Down goes Perry, and they're 2 down. Strikeout number 4 for Espelin, and that'll bring up Mark Odessa, the shortstop. Espelin committed to Dayton. By the way, he'll be a flyer in the fall. And Odessa comes up empty for strike 1. Odessa struck out looking to lead off the bottom of the second. He fouls this one off onto Broadway. And it is 0-2. Really, no car is safe on Broadway with the way these foul balls can carry. Runs up and in, 1-2. Like, over at center field in Lexington, you know, you park your, if you park your car beyond the crosswalk just behind home plate, like, you're fine. You won't get crunched, but it's just the way this field is set up. Grounded to short, Curley's got it, fires onto first. In time, the side is retired, but the Alibrandis get another run on the solo shot by Jake Miller. And after 3 complete, Alibrandis 4, Blue Sox 2. This is Blue Sox Baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox host the Melrose Americans. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. Four runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 5 left for the Alibrandis. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 5 left for the Blue Sox. As the Blue Sox will have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up here in the top of the 4th, Feliciano, Berry, and Barboza. You know, after all the gray, rainy days throughout April and May, than the string of sunshine we had recently. It's kind of in between today. It's mostly sunny, but it's only 61 degrees. Sway to lead things off here in the top of the fourth. Beat out an infield single and scored his first time up in the second. Wants to bunt his way on again, but takes ball one. Sway grounds his one down the left field line. That's a base hit. Sway takes the turn at first, and now is going to scamper back to first as the throw gets back in relatively quickly. It was a little squibber getting back to the first baseman Grover, but he hangs on. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate and John Barry, although I have a feeling he might be laying one down here. He does offer throw back to first, Sway back safely. And that bunt is fouled off. Barry now to 1-2 count. The first pitch was a strike, so that last pitch was a ball. So it's 1-2. Low for ball two. Sway takes off for second. Throw by Zuba goes into center field. It's backed up, though, so no advance. No further advance, anyways, by Feliciano. He advances on the wild pitch. Runner in scoring position now with two down. With nobody, 2-2 count, I should say. Single, wild pitch, putting Feliciano at second. Sway talking trash in Spanish with Parra in right field. As Barry fouls that one off. Remains 2-2. Sway inching off of second. The pitch is grounded to the right side, and it skips off the glove of Miller, and in to score is Feliciano. That took a wicked hop on Miller. He's having an adventure at second base today. We'll give Barry a single and an RBI on that one, and it is 4-3. And here's the leadoff hitter, Aaron Barboza, with Barry getting a decent lead at first. And Barboza grounds this one, scooped up by the shortstop. Odessa on to first, not in time. And Barboza, with his elite wheels, beats out an infield single. He's on board for the second time today. That puts the tying run into scoring position for the Blue Sox. The go-ahead run at first for Ross Curley. And that is going to bring Teddy Zuba out to the mound. Anthony Del Preti out there to have a word. With Corvo and Zuba, and let's see how they play Ross. Ross 1 for 2 with an RBI single. John Barry picking up his second RBI of the game from the number 9 spot, and now spinning back towards second is Corvo. Ross tries to lay a bunt down and fouls it off for strike 1. Tries to get one down again, and he fouls it off, 0-2. With nobody out, even with one of the best hitters in Blue Sox history at the plate, bunting here is not unheard of. Put the go-ahead run in scoring position, the tying run at third in that situation. McCurdy's going to be forced to swing the bat here. Quite frankly, you'd rather have him swing the bat. Oh, but he comes up empty, and that is strike 3. There's the old Sammy Whammy again. One down for Kyle Adey. Walked his first time up in the first, grounded out to second to end the second. What a triumphant return it would be for him if he could come through with a big hit here. He takes ball 1. Two and 0 as that one misses high. Barry at second, Barboza at first. Gapper should give Blue Sox the lead. 3-0. Are they saying they'd rather take their chances with Richie Burgos? The 3-0. Taken all the way for ball 4. Bases loaded. 1 out. Four walks drawn already by the Blue Sox in the first 3 and a third. Corner infielders come in here. The pitch. Up and in for ball 1. Burgos reached on an error and walked thus far. 0 for 1. He takes a mighty cut at that one and comes up empty. Only fouled it off anyways. 1-1. With the short backstop, you can't count on the wildness Can't count on wildness resulting in a run here with the bases loaded. Runners are only going to be moving if the ball's in play. Fouled off. 1-2 now to Burgos. Bases loaded, 1 out. First 3 batters of the inning reach. Feliciano scoring on a RBI single by John Barry that took a wicked hop over the second baseman Miller. The 1-2, grounded up the middle, through for a base hit. Barbosa's around second. The Blue Sox have the lead. Two-run single for Richie Burgos. That puts 80 at second, Burgos at first for Zach Stevens. And Stevens grounds this one through the left side for a base hit. 80's being waved around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's offline. And taking second and third on the play are Stevens and Burgos. It is 6-4. Blue Sox exploding for 4 runs here in the top of the 4th. Still only 1 out in the inning. Eighth man to bat is Alex Wojtek. Wojtek comes up empty. Some urgency being shown now in the Alibrandis bullpen, as you see at the bottom of your screen. As this is blooped into left field for a base hit, being held at third is Stevens as Burgos scores, and it is 7-4. Brian Safel is warming up here for the Alibrandis. So runners at the corners now. And David Lightby is coming out to make the move. Five runs here in the top of the 4th with only 1 out. And that will do it for Corriveau. We have a pitching change coming to you from Trump Field in Somerville, Mass. Blue Sox 7, Alibrandis 4. This is Blue Sox Baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. There has been a threat of thunderstorms in the area. It's certainly got the cloud cover to indicate that. Although the max chance of a thunderstorm we saw on the Weather Channel was 40%, but then again, you folks know my feelings about the Weather Channel. Does the National Weather Service have an app? I'd rather use that. If you want to know the Lewis Black track I get my my Weather Channel rant from, It's on his album, The End of the Universe, and the track is called Environmental Terrorism or Global Warming. So just look that up on YouTube or iTunes or Amazon Music or whatever your music preference is, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about with my beef with the Weather Channel. Well, these clouds do not look promising at all. Had to brighten the iris a few stages in all this. Ninth man to bat in the inning is John Puttress, and Putty takes up and away ball one. So it's 3 to third innings, 1 strikeout, 4 walks, 10 hits allowed by Corriveau. Still responsible for both runners on base. Putty ahead 1-0 in the pitch. Down and away 2-0. I said it was clear earlier. That changed. And this is why, I know this isn't the most favorable camera angle, folks, but there are 2 advantages to doing the broadcast from where we are here. 1, shelter. And 2, well, actually, this isn't really an advantage, but this is a reason for it. They won't let us use the power outlets on the light tower, and they being the city of Somerville. Safel gets strike 1 in there, 3-1. Safel has been with the Alibrandis franchise since 2017 when they were in the Yawkey League. As this is lined, speared by the second baseman Miller for the out. 2 down. Safel last year pitched in 8 games with a 2-0 record, 14 and third innings, 11 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, walked 3, struck out 11, and surrendered 1 home run. So the runners stay where they are at second and third, and now Feliciano will bat for the second time this inning as the Blue Sox have officially batted around. Feliciano singled and scored his first time up, this inning anyways. That's low for ball 1. Feliciano is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Strike 1 to even the count. And I'm starting to feel the first spits of rain. As Feliciano grounds this one up the middle, fielded there by the shortstop Odessa onto second for the out that retires the side. So Safel retires both men he faces here in the top of the fourth, but the damage has been done as the Blue Sox strike for 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 2 left. After 3.5, we're halfway home. It is the Blue Sox 7 and the Alibrandis 4. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. Kelvin Guzman takes over on the mound for the Blue Sox to begin the bottom of the fourth. Guzman has pitched in 7 games in his Blue Sox career. In 2017, pitched in 5 games, went 4-0 with a .677 ERA and allowed just 2 earned runs in 20 2/3 innings, allowed 15 hits, and struck out 27, but walked 20. So let's see if he's got the control to hold down the fort here with the Blue Sox staking him to a 3-run lead as the first pitch to Juan Parra is in there for strike one, 0-1. Parra fouls that one off to make it 0-2. Parra is 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Breaking ball in there for strike 3 called. And that'll bring up Teddy Zuba. He's also 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. He's got 1 run scored. Takes ball 1. High for ball 2 to Teddy. This is lined. Oh, playing deep in the hole at second is Barry, and he'll fire on to first for the out. He was playing shotgun in shallow right, and 2 down. So 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Max Troiani, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. As he takes down and in ball 1. High for ball 2, 2-0. Fouled off, 2-1. Mentioned the couple of Watertown Reds now former Watertown Reds now playing for the Alibrandis. I should mention though that the Reds program as a whole is not folded. The Intercity League team ceased operations, but the Middlesex Reds youth baseball program that Joe Chiodo runs is still in operation, so it's good to know that Joe's still part of it, as that was actually ball 4, not ball 3. So a 2-out base runner for the Alibrandis here after the first 2 retired in order. So we will not have a 1-2-3 inning for the first time. Let's see what Brandon Grover can do. He's reached base twice without the aid of a hit, once on a hit by pitch and once on an error. Slide step by Guzman, and it's strike 1. But to continue my point about what happened to the former Reds, that's 0-2. One of the former Reds, Logan Gillis, who is one of the coaches at Lawrence Academy, of course, one of our other clients, now playing for the Malden Mad Dogs. Runner goes. The pitch is a ball. There was no throw by Puttress, and Guzman was walking off the mound thinking he had strike 3. It did look good from here, but no such luck. 1-2 the count to Grover. He's now got a runner in scoring position, and he'll foul it off. Guzman comes set. And the pitch. Foul tipped, held on to, was it? No, it was not. Wow, I thought that hit into Puttress's mitt. No such luck. Still 1-2 to Grover. This is grounded to the right side, scooped up by Stevens. He'll underhand to Guzman for the out that retires the side. Nothing comes of the 2-out walk after 4 complete. Blue Sox 7, Alibrandis 4. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. All right, here we go to the top of the 5th with the where are we? 9-1-2 hitters due up. Barry to lead things off, checks his swing. Safel still out there for his first full inning of work. As this is grounded to the left side, backhanded by the shortstop Odessa on to first for the first out of the top of the 5th. That'll bring up Aaron Barboza. Barboza is 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a run scored. Strike 1 to the speedster Aaron. Seven runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and 7 left for the Blue Sox. Ball 1. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 6 left for the Alibrandis. Strike 2, putting Barboza behind 1-2. Barboza, then Curley, and if anybody gets on, Kyle 80. Low for ball 2. Called strike 3. Barboza thought that was off the plate, but no such luck. 2 down as Safel picks up his first strikeout. 80 now 1 for 3, and that brings up Ross Curley. Curley is 1 for 3 with a single, sandwiched between a ground out to second and a strikeout. Ball 1 to Ross. Well, I mentioned I felt a couple spits of rain earlier. Has Held off, though. Although, you can kind of tell Ross is blending into the wall behind the backstop with how dark it is. Like, I'm trying to brighten the iris and everything, but, like... I don't know what's gotten into the picture here. It's a little... weird, but ball 4 to Ross. Try and work with that a little bit. As Ross draws a walk, bring up Kyle. Kyle behind 0-1. It's not exactly what I was hoping to happen. And quite the opposite. Even count to Kyle, 1-1. As Kyle drives this one into center field, but it'll be caught on a line by the center fielder, Troiani, for the out that retires the side. After 4.5, still 7-4 Blue Sox. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Does that look better? I think that looks better. Looks much better. Kelvin Guzman to face Dave Lightbody, Michael McGuire, and Jake Miller here in the bottom of the 5th, not the top of the 5th, of course. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel as Lightbody is even in the count 1-1. 2-1. Three and 1 to Lightbody. This is the control problem that plagued Guzman in his first season with the Blue Sox. Walked 20 batters in 20 innings, 20 and third innings. But he was 4-0. And Lightbody coaxes out a walk. So the tying run moves into the on-deck circle for for the Alibrandis is that'll bring up Michael McGuire, who reached on fielder's choice and popped up to short thus far. And he swings and misses for strike one. One and one, the count to McGuire. Just seems the sky and the lack of wind feel very ominous right now. So might as well pull up the Weather Channel and just see what the forecast looks like, what the radar looks like, as that is fouled off to make it 1 and 2. Well, it's 6:42 right now, and looks like a 40% chance of thunderstorms starting at 7 o'clock. Looks like there is, as that's outside 2 and 2, there are active thunderstorms north of us, but nothing like right here in Somerville. And it looks like it's all going to go north of us until midnight. So we should be good. Doubt if we, as that swung on and missed for strike 3. Second strikeout for Guzman, 1 down. Though I doubt even if we did play the maximum 9 innings, we'd be playing till midnight anyway. The only question is, can we get the lights on? Because we don't have the lights on right now. And will the city even turn them on for us? Here is Jake Miller, the second baseman, homered his last time up in the third. And he got hit. So that puts the tying run, that brings the tying run to the plate in the person of Anthony Perry, who's 0 for 2 with a line out to first and a strikeout. And Perry takes strike 1. Comes up empty with a little flat-footed swing there, and it's 0 and 2. If you don't get a ground ball off of Perry, you'd just like to retire him and get Odessa and not still have runners on base with the top of the lineup working around the corner. 1 and 2. Just the first pitch hit by pitch on Miller. Just a little tough for the Blue Sox to deal with. Don't have anyone warming right now. Two and 2 as that just missed. Light body at second, Miller at first. The 2-2. Ball 3. Guzman will step off the rubber and dry off his hands. Comes set. Payoff pitch, runners go. Strike 3. The runners take second and third uncontested. Kind of a little anticlimactic play there. So double steal there on the 3-2 pitch. And that'll bring up Mark Odessa, the shortstop, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to short. Both coming at the hands of Espelin. He pops this one up, but it goes into the overhang for strike one. Light body walk to lead off the inning. Then McGuire struck out swinging. Then Miller was hit by the first pitch he saw. Then Perry struck out looking. Double steal on that called third strike. And now Odessa behind 0-1. As he pops this one up, Stevens will watch it go into the stands. 0-2. Guzman really wants to get Odessa here because, again, the top of the lineup lurking, Parra and then Zuba. Low for ball one. Derlin Tejeda behind the plate now. This is grounded to the right side, fielded by Barry on to first in time. So Guzman works out of that jam, and after 5 complete, Blue Sox 7, Alibrandis 4. This is Blue Sox Baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Top of the 6th, it'll be the middle third of the order due up for the Blue Sox, Richie Burgos, Zach Stevens, and Alex Wojcik. Burgos takes ball one. Richie's reached base all 3 times today, once on an error, once on a walk, once on a single. Brought home 2 runs with his single. Safel winds and delivers. Big cut and a miss by Richie for strike one to even the count. Richie fouls that one off to make it 1-2. Looks to be, is there action warming for the Blue Sox? And that is fouled off onto Broadway. Remember, it's not an official broadcast until it's fouled off onto the street down the third base line. And he went around, says the infield umpire, so that is strike 3 as Burgos just stood at home plate, did not contest it, even running down to first. Zafel picks up his second strikeout, and that brings up Zach Stevens. Stevens has an RBI single to his credit as he takes low ball 1. Two and 0. Two and 1. And pulling even in the count is Zafel at 2 and 2 after falling behind 2 and 0. Stevens hasn't even taken the bat off his shoulders yet. And time is called by Stevens. And strike 3 as Stevens goes down. There's a little bit of blue sky peeking through the clouds right now. Back-to-back strikeouts for Zafel, and now a swing and a miss by Alex Wojtek for strike 1. Wojtek with a 3-hit game already. See if he can make it 4 for 4. Won't do it there. 0 and 2. Be a big inning here if Zafel can set down the side in order. Keep this at a 3-run deficit. Blue Sox broke out with 5 runs in the top of the 4th to take a 7-4 lead that they currently hold. And Wojtek just barely fouls that one off. Espelin went the first 3 for the Blue Sox. He can't get the win. Right now it's Kelvin Guzman's game to win. As another foul ball by Wojtek, hanging in there despite being down 0 and 2. Ryan Corvo went the first 3 and a third and allowed those 5 runs in the top of the 4th while only getting 1 out. Thus far it's been 2 and a third innings of scoreless hitless relief, in fact, for Zafel. Just the 1 walk allowed to Curley. Got 3 strikeouts looking for number 4, and he gets Wojtek to foul it off. Wojtek's spun some good ones here. Trying to keep this inning alive, maybe pad this lead a little bit. Darlin Tejeda's on deck. As this is lined down the third baseline, it's a fair ball. Wojtek hits first. He's on his way to second as it goes all the way into the corner, and he's got a stand-up double, his 4th hit of the ball game. Sorry this isn't live, Mrs. Wojtek, but 4 for 4 with a double. A run scored and 1 RBI. Alex Wojtek having a phenomenal game. And now let's see what Darlin Tejeda can do in his first at-bat of the ball game. Ball 1 to Darlin. Garland is a career .250 hitter with the Blue Sox. Two and 0. Derlin last year played in 7 games, went 3 for 12 with a double. He chops this one to the right side, fielded by Miller. On to first for the out that retires the side. Nothing comes of the 2-out double. After 5.5, still Blue Sox 7, Alibrandis 4. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of most past LSP video broadcasts, or one of several different designs of stickers or shirts, including the LSP hoodie and the Never Concede Collection. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store after the game to place your order. We got a new pitcher for the Blue Sox, and making his Blue Sox debut is Jake Vessling. Vessling, a product of Union College. From Doylestown, Pennsylvania. This is grounded to the left side, fielded by Burgos, on to first, stretch by Stevens in time for the first out. So the speedy Parra is retired. That's an important first out to get. Then that'll bring up Teddy Zuba. Zuba 1 for 2 with a single and a walk and a run scored. Two and 0 the count to the veteran backstop Zuba. Vessling working with a full windup. 3-0. Slow for ball 4. No, just ball 3. My mistake. This is grounded up the middle, fielded by Curley. He'll fire onto first. Another nice stretch by Stevens, keeping his foot on the bag for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. We have to Max Troiani, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk, and an RBI single at that. This is grounded up the middle. It skips off the glove of Curley. Taking a wide turn at first is Troiani. So for the second straight time, Troiani spoils a 1-2-3 inning for Blue Sox pitching. So that'll bring up Brandon Grover, and he is ahead 1-0. In the top of the seventh, the Blue Sox will have Feliciano, Berry, and Barboza due up. Fouled off, 1-1. This is another ground ball fielded by Curley. He'll fire onto first. And four ground balls in the inning if you count the single. And the side is retired. We go to the top of the seventh. Blue Sox will look to pad their lead a little bit. It is the Blue Sox 7 and the Alibrandis 4. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox host the Melrose Americans. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. So we go to the top of the seventh. Blue Sox fell behind 2-0 after one, tied it in the top of the second, then a run in the third and the run in the fourth, run the second, run in the third rather. Put the Alibrandis up 4-2, but 5 runs in the top of the fourth are what are propping up the Blue Sox right now. 7-4, top of the seventh. Here's Sway, who's got a 3-for-4 day going. And he'll ground this one foul down the third base line with bat in hand. 4 strike 1 to even the count. Feliciano, Berry, and Barboza. And if anybody gets on, Curley. Safel still out there for the Alibrandis in this is 4th inning of work as Feliciano comes up empty to make it 1-2. And he comes up empty, but the pitch is a wild one. Zuba having a hard time fielding it, and Sway is going to reach. You know, I talk about the short backstop being something that would dissuade runners from trying to take extra bases on wild pitches, but worked out there for Sway. It's a strikeout and a wild pitch. And that'll bring up John Barry in a potential sacrifice situation. He does not square. And it is ball one. Two and oh to Barry. Barry is 1 for 3 with a single and 2 RBIs. Slide step, it's low, 3 and 0. Strike one, and Safel back in the count at 3 and 1. Feliciano hasn't had the inclination to run just yet. Gets to 3 and 2, you may see him run though. Feeble cut and a miss there by Barry, and he has run the count full 3 and 2. Blue Sox have 7 runs on 10 hits, 1 error, and have left 9. As this is grounded to the right side, Feliciano avoids the ball hitting him, and the play will go 4-3 as Miller throws out Barry at first. Well, it's the sacrifice I thought we were going to get anyway. 1 down and a runner in scoring position for the Blue Sox, as that brings up Aaron Barboza. Barboza is 1 for 3 with a walk, a single, a run scored. As he reaches down and fouls that one off for strike one. This game was at a tipping point all the way back in the first inning when Espelin had the bases loaded and nobody out. But he got Michael McGuire to ground into a fielder's choice, a 1-2 fielder's choice. And that could have been a double play, too, as that's in there for strike two. Because Espelin hesitated, spun back towards second, and then eventually got the force at home. That kept the bases loaded, but then he struck out Miller and got Perry to line out to first. That kept the game at 2-0 after 1, when it was really at a tipping point. As that pops off the glove of Zuba, throw down to third, not in time. And it's ball one at that. So runner at third, 1 and 2 the count, 1 down, as that'll be a pass ball. And infield not really coming in here. Just the third baseman, Perry, in on the grass. And just barely fouling that one off is Barboza. Blue Sox, again, Espelin kept him in it, and then this is lined over the Blue Sox dugout. Watch your lips. Ugly finder, etc. Blue Sox, Espelin kept him in it at 2-0. Blue Sox then tied the game in the top of the second. Alibrandis padded the lead in the second and third, up to 4-2. And then, as I mentioned, the 5 runs in the top of the fourth chased Corvo, as this is looped right back to the pitcher, Safel. He'll look the runner back at third, and now the throw is airmailed out of play. Feliciano collided with the third baseman, Perry, trying to get back to the third base bag, and now he's coming home to score, and I think we might have a protest here from the Alibrandis. Are we? It certainly seems like Feliciano's entitled to get back to third base, but Perry was standing basically on the bag. I don't know if he was expecting the ball to come to him, but it looks like the run's going to stand. There are 2 down. It's now 8-4, and here's Ross. That was a bizarre play. Don't really think you can give Barboza credit for an RBI there. So Granite goes 1-3, and then it's a E3 that allows Feliciano to score, because it was the first baseman, Grover, who airmailed it over the third baseman, Perry's head. So that pads the lead to 8-4 for the Blue Sox. That's important, with Dave Lightbody leading off the next inning, as it's fouled off. It's going to be bottom of the 7th, 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Alibrandis, Lightbody, McGuire, and Miller. Curley takes strike 3 called, and the side is retired. We go to the bottom of the 7th, closing time for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox 8, Alibrandis 4. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So, unless the Alibrandis come back to tie this and force extra innings, Safel will have pitched 3 2/3 innings of hitless relief while still allowing a run. He allowed that one walk to Curley, and then Feliciano reached after the strikeout on a wild pitch, and then eventually came around to score in one of the most bizarre trips around the bases I've seen. Get to second on a ground ball, get to third on a pass ball, score on a comebacker after the first baseman tried to get you going back to the bag at third. So Feliciano will finish his day 2 for 4. I misspoke. They say he had a 3-hit game. This is a save situation here, as we begin the bottom of the 7th. Lightbody behind 0-2. Checks his swing. Did he go around? Again, save situation here for Jake Vessling as he started as that runs inside, 2-2. He started the 6th up 3. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Vessling picks up his first Blue Sox strikeout. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th for Michael McGuire. McGuire is 0 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice, popped up to short, and struck out swinging. And he loops this one to short, picked up by Curley. Throw on to first in time, 2 down. Great play by Roscoe. Just elegantly galloping through the left side of the infield to get that throw off his back foot. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th, and it'll be up to Jake Miller, who is 1 for 2 with a solo home run. And Miller takes low for ball 1. Miller hits this one into right field. It will be caught on the run. We haven't had many flyouts today, but that one to right field, and Kyle 80 will do it, and the Lexington Blue Sox begin 2019 with an 8-4 win on the road over the Alibrandis. So the final totals for the Alibrandis: 4 runs, 6 hits. Sorry, folks, I had to take care of something. All right, so for the Alibrandis, 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and 3, 5, 6, 8, 9 left. And for the Blue Sox, 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, and 9 left. The winning pitcher is Kelvin Guzman. The losing pitcher is Ryan Corvo. Blue Sox go to 1-0. Alibrandis go to 0-1. Blue Sox next game here on LSP tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. Home opener as the Blue Sox host the Melrose Americans. So with that said, this has been a presentation of the Lexington Blue Sox in association with Local Sports Productions, serving Greater Boston student-athletes since 2011. Copyright 2019, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or Local Sports Productions is strictly prohibited. You can follow LSP on the web, localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. The final score from Trump Field in Somerville, Mass. It is the Blue Sox 8 and the Alibrandis 4. My name is Sam Feely, reminding you freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in.